Samsung 990 Pro, 1 terabyte. The Windows drive, future Windows drive. Media drive will be the 9100 Pro, 2 terabyte, PCIe 5. The 990 Pro will be a PCIe 4. We also have a 9100 Pro 4 terabyte. It's also PCIe 5. That'll be our game drive. They'll be talking to the lovely Ripjaws 6000 GSKILL 6000 meg 232 gig sticks, and of course the power plant, our little motor, AMD Ryzen 7 9800 X3D for a bit of extra boost. I can't wait to get into this, guys. Leon Lee PCIe 5 riser cable. Going to attempt to put our big kick-ass video card vertically mounted. Check these fans out too. I was a little bit reluctant to get these because they're about $55 each, but they're Apolar, which means they're a modular fan, so they'll kind of snap in together with these little feet that flip out. They lock in, so you can essentially snap 3 fans together and just put one power header. So you use one cable to power all 3 fans, which will be the ROG Strix 1200 watt platinum. Mr. Brains Mag X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi by MSI. Nice board, good value board too. You can fit 4 M2 slots in there, cards in there. Only 2 will run at PCIe 5, but that's okay. We'll discuss that later. Calling it Kraken NZXT 360 RGB. I will not be using the fans though. I'll be using the Apolar Cougars. I love the LED display on this. They also do a elite version of this where you get a slightly bigger screen. And yes, here we go. 5080 Game Rock by Palet. This is a nice card. It's got like, the fans don't actually have any LED lighting. More, it's at the front, and the LEDs sweep around the outside of the card, and also they sweep on the top. Well, not so much sweep, but you do have some neon bright lights. They have an LED display on the top of the card if you are horizontally mounting it. So I went with it because we're vertically mounting it, so it's going to look pretty sexy facing us. At least that's the plan. Cougar FV270 ATX case is what's going to be housing all this gear. Let's crack in. Alright, what do we have here? Let's check out the bait tackle box. Oh yeah, maybe I can throw some flies in there and go fly fishing. Actually, that's pretty cool. What is in here? No doubt there'd be, some, looking at that, cable ties, screws, I think rubber grommets for, actually who knows where the rubber grommets go. I'll have to check that out in the case actually. Just some screw sets, yeah, handy though. No doubt I'll use that through the build, storing all bits and pieces. It's nice and handy. Now what's in this black box? It looks, may not be a one-handed operation. It's, no. Let me put the camera down, guys. One sec. Awesome. Okay, it looks like probably a hard drive mount, or looks like it's the PCIe riser card mount, I think. Doesn't look like a hard drive. Yeah, it does actually. Oh, instructions as well. Yeah, sure, I'll read them. Not until I mess something up. Typical male. Then I'll refer to that off camera. Well, I think fair warning, guys. It's about time we got this out. Let's go into some time lapse with some cheap, cheesy music. Brownie points for guessing this theme song. Oldie but a goodie. Yeah, righto. Stop the music. Check this out. Doesn't it look good? Disassembly sequence. Looks like just about everything pulls apart on this. Sides, front, and the side front as well, because it's not rectangular at the front. It has a curved glass section. There we go. It is glass too. It's not Perspex. I thought it may have been. From memory, guys, this cost was about, I actually have to guess, but I think it was about low 200s, this case. There is an ARGB model as well, which is a little bit more expensive. The fan's already supplied. I just wanted to do my own fans, so I bought the non-ARGB model. It's also worth noting that the ARGB model of this case is an EATX, whereas the non-RGB, the one I have now, is a ATX. So a couple of USBs at the front, Type C as well. Switches feel good. The quality of this case feels excellent. It's quite thick. It's very robust. It feels like it's quality. Perforations in the top for the radiators. No doubt when we pull that off we're going to find some filtration material of some kind. Also got some perforations in the bottom. My power supply is going to be dropped in there, but you can do something else if you wanted to. I think we'll start taking this thing apart now. That would be the logical next step. We've seen enough. Let's get on with the show. Alright. Glass removed, guys. Just put that over there. It's pretty big. Got a lot of space inside. It's the first thing I've noticed pretty easily. Not going to have too much trouble inside this bad boy. So let's explain how these panels go on. We've got two slots down the bottom of the chassis there. You've got two tabs on the glass panel at the bottom. And then you've got two knobs on the top of the glass that click into those clips at the top. So there's your metal surrounds. They just slot straight into there. It's pretty strong too, guys. Nothing fragile about this. You've got some pretty decent clips here as well. They go in pretty easily, but they are firm, so don't be too worried. Just pop them in. They come off just as easy. Thank God. Not going to give you too much grief. What is that sticker? Oh yeah, it's just telling you you need to remove that little tab. It's in there for transport to keep the fan in there. There's the pre-installed fan in that shroud. You see that little depression in the plastic. Press that down and the whole fan comes out. So you can also replace it, that whole shroud, with a special, I guess you could call it like a rotating disc with RGB. It's like a platform. You can put like a figurine or something in there. I'll pop a graphic up on the screen so you know what I mean. There we go. So yeah, it just rotates around. Not sure how that works exactly, but what a cool feature. I like when manufacturers decide to do something a little bit different outside the norm. It's, some people might find that a bit quirky, but you know what? The option's there. So that's what it's all about, folks. Options. But so far, I'd have to say, pretty happy. Then we have a mount there for the graphics card. It would be there for your standard horizontal mount. I might even look at, it looks like it's adjustable. Yeah, it is actually. There's a little grub screw underneath it, and yeah, it slides up and down. It's also a cable management shroud plate, if you like. Plenty of space down there for a power supply. That's how the fan removes, nice and easy. Just a little contact point. So, yeah, a little circuit board there, some pins. Just push it down. I have read on a couple of forums before this build that sometimes if the glass is off and the structure of the case isn't quite as, you know, the integrity is not quite as solid, that contact can lose point. So, a point of contact, and you'll need to kind of just wiggle it to get it back. So, but if everything's on, the glass, everything, and you notice that the light's out, you probably just move it around the case slightly, and it will come back on. Still pretty cool though. I like it. It's a pretty cool design. And look at the access in here, man. Honestly, haven't seen too many cases with that level of access. Really cool. I think we might have to grab a power supply soon. Rip that in. So, coming around the back here a bit. So we can see there's pre-installed cables. Got your Cougar ties. Cougar ties? What's a Cougar? Maybe that's a brand I should look into. Cougar. Looking pretty good. There's all the USB headers, everything for the front ports on the case. So it's all cable tied. I like the management on this. There's a lot of Velcro ties pre-installed on the case as well. So it's quite a few here. You see more travel up there. There's some up the top as well. Lots of access to get in and out of the case with cables. So always makes life a bit easier. So we've got a little hard drive mount there, little back plate, and you got your access on both sides of that to the power supply. Got another hard drive plate there. That's the back of your cable shroud, which actually swings out to provide access. That's what the vertical graphics card mount is on as well on the other side. That swings out. It's attached to the cable shroud. So I think not too much more to say on the back of it. Let's roll into some fans, eh? Let's get the fans in there. So here are the fans. I've already started mounting. I was not going to use these, and then I decided to use these as a dummy fit. And then I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to do it. But I'm not. I'm going to go back and put the Cougars in. I think they're just going to look so much better with the lights on the side as well. Much less cabling, man. Honestly. The NZXT fans aren't quite as good, you know. So they'll click in together, those bad boys. So yeah, I think let's get them on, see what we can pull off. Just ran into a minor issue. If you are going to use these fans and that particular radiator rather,
You see the profile of the NZXT fan is a little bit lower. Didn't appear to be an issue, however, when there is the cable cover here, so they do have a cable cover here that's designed to pop back in. Remember the case is upside down, guys, so it's a bit confusing, but yeah, this cable cover opens up so you can run the cables, and then when you're finished you basically snap that in, and there's a screw that goes in there. Minor problem with these fans, only the first one, is that it's going to, let me just set the GoPro up, it does hit that flap unfortunately, not by much, so you can actually just manipulate it slightly. Just, it does put some minor scratches there on the edge here. Just, it only just hits it, so it's going to cause a problem. Once it's in, it's in. It's going to lock in anyway. Yeah. So, but that area there is hitting. It's just pushing down that ever so slightly. We're talking about very small amount of pressure. So I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, guys, and just keep that one. If you keep opening and closing that, you're going to end up with some surface marks just on here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there are some very, very minor marks on that. I'll keep going. Alright, I'm not going to lie. How much better does that look, guys? You can have that. You can have that. Cool to use the LCD display as well. It isn't the Elite version. The Elite version actually uses the entire circumference, I believe, or most of it. The LED display on this one's only about 2/3 of the screen, but it's nice. It's good quality. We'll check that out when we turn it on when I test the fans out. Loving it.
All right, the NZXT hybrid fan setup. I think it's looking pretty decent too. It's so clean. I love the RGB on the side, that really soft glow. The cooler should be about there. Everything's going to look pretty good, I reckon. Let's go. Alright guys, Tomahawk is in. Fans and motherboard. CPU in place. Looking good, feeling good. Everything's gone together very well.
Hey guys, what I'm going to do now is if you're using AMD, particularly AM5, and you're using the NZXT cooler with this particular water pump, the order of the day is to remove the original brackets that come with the AMD board, okay, but keep the back plate. Okay, so you see the two plates I've removed, and if you go to the back of the unit, you'll see the original back plate is still in place, okay. That's fine. So now, next order of day, you need to get your AM sleeves, AM5 sleeves, these bad boys. So I'll install those and come back. So worth noting, the original mounting hardware that comes with this is the Intel one. You'll need to just rotate that counterclockwise, that bracket, and that bracket just snaps off. Replace it with the AMD one that's in the box, and yeah, basically it's going to go like that. As far as the mounting of this, you have a couple of things here, right? You've got standoffs first for AM5 you want to have those, see those small ridges. AM5 you want to have the ridges aligned like that. So quickly look at the packet, you can see what I'm talking about. So AM5 got the ridges at the top, no ridges on the bottom. So essentially they're going to go like that on each of the standoffs. So the way they go on, ridges on the top. This has a small, you can see that's smaller than that. So the longer side needs to go in ridges first, like so. And then you can pop them in like that. And just twist them in. And they go twist into the old back plate.
We'll just speed this up a little bit for you guys.
Now we have thermal paste is already applied. Just make sure there's nothing on there that's going to be an issue. And on we go. Lovely. And then you've got your tops in the box, and literally just do opposing corners first, that way you can get the equilibrium on the screws without over tightening. Okay. Just finger tight, quarter turn finger tight. Lift the hose up on the last one, it's a bit awkward. And just finish them off with the screwdriver. Don't over tighten. No need. Three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Alright, so the next phase, guys, is to plug the harness that comes with the cooler. That has the power for the pump, has a USB, and it also has the original fan splitters. So the splitters that we won't be using, so just another bunch of cables we need to hide. They are pretty flat though, so not too bad to run. I'll just tuck them up through the back behind the fan slot. That's the USB. That'll provide the interface between the OLED display and the NZXT software. Then you've got the three-way splitter and the SATA power for the pump. The three-way splitter goes back to an NZXT ARGB hub that we will not be using. So onwards and upwards.
So a bit of an update. The cable management set up on the back of this case is actually very decent. Pretty happy with that. Comes with a lot of these already pre-installed, a lot of the cables. The route spaces are actually really clever, so These two are both the CPU. You'll need dual 8-pin CPUs power. So I've got them just going through. They just fit through the fan section there. They'll come down there. There's cable ties all the way down there. That'll work pretty good. That's the USB splitter. That comes with the cooler. And yeah, front panel connectors there, HD audio there, USB-C type here, and USB 3.0 there, all to the front up there. So that's where we're at the moment. So keep you posted.
Alright guys, so far we have the 2 extra fans put in, all there. That's an RGB header up there, another RGB header there, and next to the RGB header is the fan power as well. So, and there's the third one as well. So room for one more. All 5 fans in, plus the fan in the case already. So I've routed most of the cables. It's been very, very easy to route cables in this case. Pretty much just choose the location and tie them down. So it doesn't take a lot of guesswork. The case is just very accommodating with places and spaces. Lots of holes cut in the chassis, so happy days. So guys, we're going to move on to the M2 slots and a bit of a discussion about the X870E chipset and the latest AMD CPUs from Ryzen and what they offer. I'm just going to throw up a quick graphic here so you guys get a better understanding of what a dual chipset board such as this is and how it operates. So if you have a look at the top, all the red circles are basically the PCIe 5 controlled by the CPU, and you can do your graphics card, obviously PCIe 5, and on the right hand side that circle will be an M2 for Gen 5. Now on the bottom left circle, the red on the CPU, that will only do a shared Gen 5 slot with the USB 4 ports, the Type-C ports on the back of the board. Okay, so if you use them, it'll half the speed. So if you don't use them, you can have a Gen 5 M2 2 slot, no problem. If you move down to chipset A, no PCIe 5 support, it's a Gen 4 M2, and chipset B down the bottom, again the same thing, there's no PCIe 5 support, but another Gen 4 M2 slot as well. So hopefully that gets a better understanding of what an X870E Tomahawk can support. So that's M2.1. That's probably the biggest heatsink there actually. It's very solid, guys. Then you've got your second and third slot. They're sort of chambered in one heatsink, and then you've got another separate heatsink for your 4 slot. So not quite as big as slot 1, but they're all pretty decent. But slot 1's an actual beast. So happy as. I'll be putting 3 M2s in there. Alright guys, I think it's time to pop a couple of these bad boys in there. Ripjaws RGB DD5 GSKILL 32 gig 6000 megs. It's advised to use 2 32 gig sticks rather than 4 16s. Apparently the Gen 5 stuff just handles things a bit more stable that way, and stable is what we want. So what I'll do is I'll throw up a quick graphic from the instruction manual to see, you guys can see the DIMM configurations and how it works. So the diagram here, if you're going to use two 32s or just a pair of any sims, use DIMM A2 first. The manual specifically says to use that slot first. So if you're going to use two, you want to use the A2 and the B2 slot to avoid any complications. And you know, if you're using 4, well, that's self-explanatory. So hopefully that helps a bit. Now let's move on to the M2 installation. Onto the M2 installation. I'm going to put the 4TB in, 9100 Pro, Gen 5. Bang that bad boy. I've already taken the tape off the heatsink. Just got to take it off the main board. There. Just have to peel that plastic strip off, and we'll get that one installed. Then we'll put the 2TB media drive in slot number 2, and then we'll grab this one, which is slot 4. Peel the tape off him, and we'll put the 1TB Windows drive in there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Done and dusted. Just click it straight in. They're very easy to install actually, and the heat sinks are awesome. It's a really nice build quality, this board. I highly recommend the board for the money. It's very good value, that's for sure. Alright, everything is looking good. GPU cables in. I was going to put them in the mesh plate down the bottom there, where my finger is, but I thought if the video card is a little bit, probably right on top of that actually, so I thought best not to. So I stuck that cable in right behind it, and then the cable can just come up and over the top of the back of it. At least that's the plan. There's the riser plate that just literally slots in. It's got two little slots in the mesh plate, the mesh cover. So hopefully everything lines up there and works out. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let's move on. So guys, you're going to need to take that whole section off and flip those around so you can get the vertical mount sorted out for the graphics card. So the whole plate comes out, just turn it around and reinstall it in the vertical position. Make your life easy. Yeah, so something interesting in the slot to lock and release the card. There's actually a small button right there. I don't know if you can see that properly. You push that in and a little claw grabs in. See it? Moving in and out. So that's pretty cool. Saves you getting your fingers in there underneath the massive card. So now that it's installed, that's a nice little fold in it. Fits well actually. Did have an issue though, guys. The PC riser card mount where the screws go through just there. The pre-installed holes in my plate that came with the case did not meet the holes in the cable. Not sure if it's cable related issue, case related issue. I had to drill a new one, which wasn't easy because there's no thread in it. So perhaps measure off the standoffs and make sure you get an appropriate riser card to match the plate. Makes good sense. Alright, I think it's time to get this bad boy out of the packet. Have a look at that. Look at that pattern that goes around the outside. It's like a serpent. All the LEDs are going to be on the outside, rotating around the fans in sequence. I'll tell you what guys, this is a nice build. It's nice quality, this graphics card. Game Rock. Pretty thick. Nice big chunky alloy back. Lots of air movement. Looking forward to getting it in. Let's hope we have no problem, eh? So, here we are. First boot up. Standard RGB sequences. Nothing programmed yet. but I must say I am very, very happy. It's a very clean build. I did have an issue with the PCI riser card mount where it slots in to the base plate. It was not far enough forward for the card itself, so I'm not real sure what is going on there with that adapter plate. In the end, I didn't use it, so the riser card itself is just basically clipped in to the base of the graphics card. It's very secure, no doubt. And then I was quite fortunate because I've been able to use the original mount for the GPU that's made for the horizontal mount as a support. It managed to just poke itself out about 10 or 12 mil, so it's just holding the outside of the card upright as well. So very lucky in the end. It's all stable, it's all secure, and it looks really good. No glass on, obviously. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I mean, it's not finished, obviously. We'll program the RGB up, but you know, as a default setting, I'm liking it. There's the graphics mount there, so you will be able to use it yourself if you have to. As you can see, it's not there anymore, and the card is very straight, very supported, so no issue whatsoever. If there were an issue, I wouldn't use it. I'd have to look for some other option. So I was lucky. Well, here she is, glass on. A little bit of a walk around. What do you think of that, guys and girls? Nice reflective depth with the glass on. Nice quality. Keeps the noise down too with the glass on, I've got to say. Also adds a nice soft glow. How about we switch to some background music? I'll pick it up soon. Alright guys, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you, Mr. Pussycat. That display's pretty cool, huh? You can use the NZXT software to actually put some useful things on there, like CPU and GPU temperature. So I appreciate it for you guys sticking around to the end. I apologise for the crappy video editing and audio. I'm a bit of a noob, but I would love to be able to have the opportunity to grow the channel, and so if you feel like subscribing, I'll definitely be doing some more for you guys, and happy to listen to some comments, learn and grow. Looking forward to the next one, guys. Mr. Tech Time out. Take care. Bye for now.